Hi, it's Kat from How to Draw Cool Stuff, and I am here today to show you a wet on wet technique using watercolor. It's a two-part project. The first part will be the wet work with watercolor. The second part will be adding embellishments with pen. So the first step is to take nice clean water and add just a pool of the water onto your watercolor paper. It's important to use the tooth side up and use special watercolor paper. I'm going to touch my color. It's going to spread. Do some really nice, interesting, veiny things. Maybe a similar color next to it. Just touch it and let it be. It's very tempting to want to swirl the colors around and do the blending yourself, but if you just let the watercolor do its thing, some magical stuff happens. So I'm going to go ahead and just touch some more colors. Again, let it do the blending. It's going to dry completely different from what we see right now. And use whatever colors you like. Experiment with it. See what colors look good together. See what colors don't. I always like to give my students a small piece of experimental paper first to see what colors that they like and if they have a little plan that they would like to do with their work. But it's interesting to see what it does. Kind of like that. I'm going to try that on a larger scale. When your water gets dirty, definitely clean it as needed. And this will dry completely differently from what you're seeing. I'm making these around the size of a quarter or a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger, but I'm keeping them very similar in size. I like that. I'm going to try that again, maybe with a different color. So the idea is to experiment, see what these watercolors do, have fun with it. We will eventually let it dry and then add some embellishments with marker, paint pen, Sharpie, whatever you can think of to make a unique original design out of it. I call these watercolor flowers, but they look good as planets. They look good as just designs, art for its own sake. Art doesn't have to look like something in order to be amazing. But get out your watercolor set, play around with it, have fun. Let it dry and resist the temptation to swirl around the colors. It's going to do it on its own. I'll add a few more of these and then I will be back in the next tutorial to show you what we'll do with it next. Until then, have fun, keep experimenting, and check out How to Draw Cool Stuff.